in, although we are way, way back, because we start lately, but the importance of dairy, everybody know, especially it's a good nutrition for the children. And how do we improve, or what do we do to meet up what the Western world are doing? So we appreciate the initiative of the president on livestock, because this is where we are. So I think we're at the right time and also at the right place.
Thank you very much. Now, to you, Dr. Ayo. I know Usman has told us about a little bit of, dairy production. When we say dairy, quite a lot of persons out there might not really understand when we say dairy. Okay, let me just break it down. Milk.
Yes.
Let me just break it down. Milk. The ordinary man on the street, we understand we are talking about milk here. Now, we all know that it's a very, very nutritional, both for children and adults. How significant is this milk production in Nigeria, to our economy and, of course, and food security?
Well, I think it's quite significant because if you look at the gap between what we are consuming and what we are producing, we're just barely meeting 30 to 40% of our requirement. Our requirement is about 1.7 billion liters of milk per annum. We are barely producing 650, 700. So the remaining part, something is being substituted through imports, filtering about $1.5 billion every year to bring in milk. So you can imagine conserving that money if you build up the backward integration component of the milk. That $1.5 million stays in the country. That will do a lot of other activities. The trajectory of this new ministry, it's good. It's coming at the right time because dairy or livestock production has been at the background when it was in that big ministry of agriculture. But now that we have a dedicated ministry that is championing livestock and dairy activities, you can see a lot of traction now coming in. And it's glaring. We know where we are going now. Forget about, I normally say the origin is important, but the destination is clear. And there are specific implementable milestones that this minister, who is a knowledgeable dairy farmer, and I want to use this opportunity to really thank our president for putting, as I said, a round hole in a round peg, and a practicing dairy farmer that has passion. We have seen light. It's taking us to the right direction. And in terms of security, in terms of economic prosperity, this industry is going to drive a lot, because if you look at the value chain of dairy, it employs a lot of people. Is it at the production side? Is it at the milk collection and aggregation side? Is it at the transportation side? Is it at the processing side? Not forgetting the supporting functions, extension services, veterinary doctors. It's a whole ecosystem of employment that is going to boom this industry. And as I said, no milk, no procreation.
No milk, no procreation. I like that, Dr. Ayo. Now, Dr. Jolausho, Dr. Ayo here, has highlighted that $1.5 billion is being lost to foreign, countries. That's a whole lot. Now, do we have the capacity to produce enough for the country, even for export?
Yeah, well, I'm happy that you mentioned export. When you look at the livestock new ministry that's being created, which we thank the president very much for, and then, an astute practitioner as the minister, it's a great move for Nigeria. But you see, when we say livestock, what is the end product? End product of livestock is milk and meat. So good, we're analyzing the type of things we could save from milk. But if I tell you what we could have saved by exporting meat, what we could have gotten in rather than saved by exporting meat, then you'd say that livestock can actually, to a very good extent, replace the petroleum thing that we are doing. So, you know, there's so much gap why we cannot export Nigerian meat, for instance. Nigerian meat is not exportable to anywhere because it does not meet the Codex Alimentarius. It does not meet principles of, you know, our animals are carrying diseases that cannot be accepted in the international market, CBPP, foot and mouth, and so on and so forth. But, you know, I know that the new ministry is now looking at ways to break the, you know, the barrier. You know, for instance, I know there's thinking to create what you call disease-free compartments where animals will be kept somewhere and monitored such that by the time they get to the abattoir, you know, they do not carry any diseases and so on. So, milk, meat, all of it, you know, good money. Let's do something, Nigeria.
Now back to you, Mr. Usman. You know, Dr. Adetunji Jola-Osho has, of course, told us, of course, there are quite a lot of things we can get from, apart from the milk, the meats also, which I'm very, very interested in because I like meat a lot. When you talk about meat,
let me say something. So, thank you. I'm just coming back from Katsina. You know, I have a slaughterhouse in Abuja here that will process 1,000 cow in a day. We call it bull. Now, people start asking me question. How do you make this 1,000? To shock you, I went for feasibility study in Katsina to see some of the markets, and I was shocked. I drive from Katsina to Daura to Mayadua. Almost everywhere you see cattle on the road. And I asked the guy, my tour guy, that are this one too going to the market? Or he said, no, they even have. I said, who is even taking care of them? They said, no, somebody is there, but I didn't see anybody. See goats and everything. Now, let me tell you the economic value in this livestock, that it has been there for long, but we don't know, or we know we neglect it. Now, when I start my processing facility in Lagos, we started, it's a capacity of 200. We started small. Before you know, we have, now the place doesn't contain even this thing, we have to expand. And reason, let me tell you the kind of employment it's create. I have over 250 staffs. This is 4 years now, and we have been paying them constantly. Now, we generate revenue to the Lagos state, and also we impact life in many people. Because like the chicken production, when we start, a woman, 2 women and 1 guy supplied chicken for us. After we exhaust, we ask them to bring another one. They say no, it has finished, that they are not going to, they have stopped. I say, why do you stop? They say, yes, because they don't have buyer. So these are the things that we look into. When you look into the dairy, it's not as if we don't have this cow that will produce the dairy, but the problem we are having contribute to the even hardest that we are seeing today is because we neglect to do the proper, take it as a business. Okay. Now, you don't have to rear your cattle everywhere. You can get your farm, you can plant your grass. There are so many types of grass that is good for animal, and that when they eat this grass, they produce more milk. Average Nigerian cow cannot give you even 2 liters in a day. While you go to abroad, they will tell you that they get 60 liters in 1 cow.
Okay, it's from what they eat.
Yes, it's it's from what they eat. Okay. You don't feed animals with chefs like the ones that has baby and you are expecting them to produce more milk. No, they prefer to feed on the green. He knows much about that side.
I will go to him now. Dr. Ayok, tell us some of the challenges that the dairy industry is facing in Nigeria, and how we can really address them.
Yes, as I said, Ambassador Nelson said it rightly. Most of our dairy cattle, their genetics is not tailored specifically towards milk. They are dual purpose. So they can give you meat, they can give you meat.
Milk.
Okay, so
probably we are concentrating more on the meat.
not really.
Okay.
You know, even the local ones we have, they have potential to give you 5 to 6 liters. Okay, as I was saying today, because I did a presentation in the World Milk Day, what we are producing now, if we harness the potential capacity of our local animals as it is now, we can get 1 billion liters.
Really?
Yes.
So how can we do that?
Aggregation. And that's what I'm currently doing for a project being run by Nestle.
When you say aggregation, what exactly
Aggregation,
are you talking
it
about?
means that I go to the Fulani people that have this milk, collect the milk from them, maintain a cold chain, and then bring that milk to a bulking center where I cool it, and then from that center, you now take it to the processor. So trying to now incline this pastoralist and mainstream them into the formal sector is one thing this present government is trying to do. And we've done that. We've practiced it. For us, we believe in concept of learning and doing. And we do the work before the talk. No, not talk, no work. We've demonstrated it. So our animals as it is now, we can double their capacity by providing them good quality pasture, water, no milk, no water, no milk. Okay? Because each liter of milk an animal produces, that animal, apart from the normal water it requires for our maintenance, which is close to about 50 liters per day, to every liter that animal produces, she needs 3 additional liters of water. So that is another gap, and this ministry is trying to look at that, fix the dams, ensure these pastoralists stay in one place. Because there's what we call nutritional stress. When these animals move further away, looking for distance, to every kilometer that they move, they lose what we call
water.
12 calories and water.
They're losing our milk.
Thank you.
They're losing our milk.
So in essence, they have that potential. And why I said we can produce 1 billion liters, if we harness that collection and aggregation, cold chain infrastructure, fix it. At the producing side, that is the pastoralists and other farmers, give them good quality fodder. If you give good quality fodder alone, you from not even bringing in additional concentrate feed, that animal can give you 5 to 6 liters. So if you bring concentrate feed, then you can now go up to about 7 to 8 liters. But we don't milk our animals twice, we milk them once. So when people make comparison and say Nigerian livestock animals produces 1-2 liters, and then those overseas produces 20 liters, yes, I say yes, but we should compare like for like. There they milk the animals 2-3 times a day. Here we only milk once. And the more you milk an animal, the more she gives you milk. It's like mothers. The more they breastfeed, the more the milk comes out.
And is the weather also affecting
Yes,
our
the
livestock?
weather plays a key role, because when the weather is hot, generally, even you, if the weather is hot, you reduce consumption. So when the weather is hot, because the metabolic activity that is happening inside the animal produces heat, and there is heat coming from this thing. It now, the brain goes to say, if I don't stop eating, I will die of internal heat. So weather plays a role. Apart
And
from
dehydration
that,
also.
Oh yes, that's why water is key. That's why I say
Yes.
no water, no milk. It's a no-brainer. And I tell people, what makes these people move faster from their enclave? It's not just because of lack of pasture.
It's water.
It's water. An animal cannot survive 3 days without water. An animal can survive 10, 11 days without pasture. Yes. So if you improve pasture and negate water, you're not solving the problem. They go hand in hand. So this ministry is trying to fix that. The cold chain facility, milk is a perishable product. I told people milk is like a hot metal. If you hold a hot metal in your hand, what do you want to do? You want to drop it. That is how milk is. So if you don't maintain that cold chain from when you extract that milk from the animal, you need just 2 to 3 hours to ensure you start cooling it. If not, it's one of the richest food for bacteria. In as much as we human beings like milk,
Bacteria is also like
oh, they like better things than you. So you have to ensure you maintain that cold chain throughout to have quality milk. And that is what is lacking. So if we can harness that potential, 1 billion liters per annum is for a take. And that is what this present minister is doing. He's a dairy farmer. He knows the problem in total, and he's putting steps to solve this problem. So we want to harness our potential first, now before looking outward to increase that potentiality.
Okay, Dr. Adetunji, talk to us. How can we as a country leverage technology to improve productivity in these sector?
Yeah, well, technology actually is one of the things we're lacking, but that is just one of it. There are other things. You know, attitude is there. There is also the situation whereby, you know, we do not invest enough in the right places. Again, we'll keep on saying, thank God with the kind of minister we have now, you know, but sorry to say, in the past there had been situations where, you know, the right people were not put in the right place who understand what agriculture is all about. A lot of work was done by a former minister, I think that is who was the Minister of Agri, who brought in McKinsey. McKinsey is well known globally in terms of deciphering problems and looking for solutions. They came with a very interesting document on how to upgrade Nigerian livestock, but up till now, all those things are lying under the table somewhere. So I think, you know, basically, you know, with time, as time is going on, would get out of this quagmire. There's the need for training. There's the need for education in local languages. For instance, John, who is a butcher in London, did not go to school, but he knows what to do so that he does not catch bacteria from his meat, because he's being taught in his language. Here, we use the same language to teach people. So we should organize some of those things into local languages. Audu unkataba wannan zaka kama wancan, you know, and he understands. He doesn't want to be in trouble. So these are some of the things, you know.
So, Ambassador, tell us, of course, Dr. Jola Osho has, of course, taught some part of it, how we can, you know, groom our local farmers. Because whether I like it or not, most of the farmers that take care of these, you know, the livestock, are not well schooled. They are not educated, you know. So they just do it with the crude knowledge they have, you know. So how can we improve, you know, their level of awareness to give them this edge, you know, to do better in the livestock industry? Thank
you for bringing that. And as he has said, he is one of our consultants in Abyss Farmers Market. And why we employ him as a consultant, when you talk about technology, whether we like it or not, technology has come to stay. In fact, it's better we adopt, because if we did not adopt it, then we'll be out of the business. Now, in Abyss, what we do, we look at that. The most difficult aspect of this business, even the knowledge is not there. So in the facility we are building in Abuja, we have academy there, where we are going to teach people how to even slaughter the meat, how to even butcher the meat. Because most of them, they don't know. These local butchers, they are just cutting meat. Some people doesn't even know the important part of the beef that they have. Now, secondly, the machines that we are going to do there, if you don't have the knowledge, you cannot tell me, hey, I will use my hand to slaughter 1,000 cows in a day. How can that one happen? You have to use technology. When you come to the dairy, I visited one place in Turkey. Do you know there's a system that they do is use sensor. Once cow put mouth there, water will come on. If you remove, water stop. These are technology. We have to learn it. The irrigation to water to plant the grass that the cow will use, you have to use technology. You cannot tell me that you want to feed 10,000 cow with people using hand. It can't work. We have to use technology. We appreciate what the initiative that President bring. Then we have gotten a good minister of livestock that know about it. It's not as if, because the first time I see with this man, there's something he said, and I say, yes, this person know what he's doing. You know, he is into the business. Sometimes the problem we are having in this country is that we appoint ministers that where we put them is not their portfolio, and that's why we fail.
But now we have a run.
Yes. Yes,
hole.
because
A
he's
round
somebody.
peg in a round hole.
Yes, he's somebody that when he talks to you, he will listen to you. You talk, and he asks you question. And this is what we see. You cannot work without having challenges. People question you. Well, how do you do this? But I just come here. You ask me this. I tell you. You didn't ask me how I will make it. This is where we fail. Now, so technology has come to stay. We have to adopt it. Yes.
So, Dr. Ayok, I will have to end with you. Now, tell us the way forward. How can we increase our dairy production? Because we have to.
Yes. You see, there's no way government will not come and catalyze this industry. Okay? All over the world where the dairy industry has developed, government were deliberate to take it to a level where other active players can come, because dairy is capital intensive. There's no two ways about it. So government is coming in to catalyze that. Okay, so that is one way. Government is bringing in technology, solar powered chillers that can help in aggregation, artificial insemination services that will even help improve this our breed. So not just giving their potentials, maximizing their potential, we want to enhance that potential to get more milk. Okay, so this government is doing it. Okay, veterinary, because all these things we are saying, you can do all. If you don't take care of the veterinary component, the disease, you do feed, you do good this thing, a disease can now come and wipe them all. The minister is handling that. So every sphere that will enhance dairy production is involved. But let me tell you one interesting thing that people forget. The manure you get from that,
It's also very important.
it's very expensive. A 25 kilogram of bag of cattle manure is 6,000 to 7,000. And one of these animals every day can give you about 4 kilograms. So you can imagine if you have 20 of these animals.
I didn't know that was
So
money.
that income, you're not even putting it.
I didn't know that was money. And I see litter all around.
Oh,
that is business.
it's great money. So yes, I think we're on the right
That is
direction. It's in the right direction. We've opened up the scope. You get my point.
Yes.
We're playing a role in the core value chain of production, aggregation, and this. We're also playing a role in the supporting functions, artificial intelligence, finance, everything all encompassing.
Thank you
This
very
minister
much.
is pushing it.
Thank you very much.
And the results will come soon. I
Thank
can
you
tell
very
you this.
much.
Thank you very much.
That was thank you so much for coming on the program. I really wish we had more time so that we'll talk more on this, because there are a lot of questions, to be asked. So a very thank you to Dr. Adetunji Jola Osho. He's a meat value chain consultant. Thank you so much for coming on the program. And we also had Dr. Celestine Ayok. He's a dairy consultant. Thank you so much for coming on the program.
Thank you very much.
And we also had Chairman Abyss Farms, Ambassador Nelson Usman. Thank you so much for coming and sharing your thoughts with us on the program.
Thank you.
And thank you for being part of the program. I am Ikaria Clinton. Goodbye.